Hello and welcome back, everybody. Welcome to a new live stream. So it is Thursday, the 6th of June. And yeah, of course, in today's live stream, we will cover all of the Bitcoin technical analysis, anything else that you, of course, want to look at as well. But yeah, there's nothing really much to update. Of course, we will look at sort of what I'm expecting within Bitcoin, because I understand that things are changing a little bit, and of course we will talk about that. As you know, I did enter into a short trade yesterday, so of course we will talk about that short trade as well, and yeah, take a look at future price levels that I'm interested in trading. And yeah, of course, just run through all of the analysis. Anything you want to look at as well, please just put it in the chat. Ask me any questions in the chat, and I will be more than happy to answer those. But yeah, enough of that. Let's jump into the chart. Let's start off with the analysis. Before we do that, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you are new, of course, and turn the bell notification on so you don't miss any of these live streams or any videos that I put out there. So yeah, make sure you do that, and then we will get started. So yeah, as you can see down here, I am still currently in this short trade, right? And of course, I gave this short trade setup to the team on the Visionary Discord. I said, took a scalp short here, so it was off of a simple, failed auction of the range high. We had, what was it again? I'll have to double check here. We had a lot of, I'm pretty sure it was 26 million if we zoomed out to the 1 hour. Yeah, so 26 million new long positions came in on this rise towards the upside here. We then formed a failed auction. For me, I was looking at this and thinking, okay, a lot of long trades are now underwater. Okay, so we could see those long trades cover, which would initially push the price lower, because they would, covering means that they have to sell into the market, and it would just add fuel to the fire. Okay, pushing up that price lower. And yeah, before I went to bed, I told the team that we were seeing long absorption occurred at range high. So you can see that price is forming, lower lows here, lower highs here. Okay, starting to form some bearish market structure. And then if we take a look at the CVD, we can see that, that is very obviously ticking towards the upside. It's got higher highs here. So we know that there is more aggressive longing happening here than there was back here. However, okay, we are seeing a large limit sell order, or a series of large limit sell orders, pushing that price down. Okay, so pushing that, absorbing all of the longs, okay, and then pushing that price down, right? That's what we were seeing. And then yeah, 10 p.m. last night, I said limit TPs are set as I'm off to bed. So I had my limit TPs at the mid range of the parallel channel and at the range low as well. Okay, so mid range and range low are the two TPs that I was looking for. And as you can see, very late last night, we did tap that first TP, and that's why I have $266 in realized P&L here. So that is $266 in a profit. Then, of course, this is unrealized. This 118 on the other side here. And for me, I am looking to take another TP at the range low. Okay, that's where I will take the majority, or I will close the majority of the trade, right, at that range low, because from there I would be looking for a long trade, right? I would be looking for a long trade to possibly take that up to mid range here, where I take a TP1, and then up to range high, where I'd possibly take that TP2. Okay, so I'm just literally looking like last week. Okay, remember last week? Let's just pull last week up and walk through that briefly. Last week we had absolutely an amazing week, just such an amazing week last week. Okay, we took 4 trades last week. All 4 of those trades were winning trades. So let's just bring that up. Right, we had this range that we were looking at last week. Okay, we took a long on the Tuesday. Well, we actually took 2 long trades on the Tuesday. That was a profitable trade. We then took another long trade on the Wednesday. That was a profitable trade. We then took a short trade on the Thursday. That was a profitable trade. And then we then took a long trade on the Friday, which I am still currently in. I'm still holding a portion of this long trade open on my smaller account, but that was a profitable long trade as well. So there was 4 trades last week. And of course, all of those were profitable trades. And, this is kind of what I'm looking at for this week as well, right? And I know and I understand that, we are coming towards the end of the week now. So we it hasn't really been the same as last week. But, I'm basically trying to go off of the same idea, right? I'm basically trying to go off the same idea that, we have a range here. Okay. And, we could literally just, again, trade this range until it breaks. So, of course, I have shorted range high here. It has been a profitable trade for me. And, yeah, let's just bring that back up. So as you can see here, it has been a profitable trade for me. And if I do get stopped out of this trade, I'm not too bothered whatsoever, because I know that I will still exit this trade with a profit. Okay, because if we pull, if we look at the, let's pull it here. If we look at the risk to reward, it is just a little bit over a 1-to-1. Okay, so it's a 1 to 1.17. So even if I do get stopped out, okay, because of course I haven't moved my stop loss to entry on this trade. If I do get stopped out, I will just exit this trade for a very slight profit. So I'm not worried about losing this profit whatsoever. It's kind of just a free trade for me, to be honest. So again, I'm expecting range low here. That's kind of what I'm expecting. Where from there, I would be looking for the long trade. And where I sit right now, I do think we could hit range low, even though I do think all-time high is the highest probability move right now. Okay, I do think that. But it would be nice, right, if we got a pull back to range low where we could get into a long trade, right? I could get into a long trade and actually take that up to all-time high. That would be really nice if we could get a long trade here and then we take that up to all-time high. So that's kind of my thesis. It's not that I'm short and I'm expecting $50,000. No, that's not the case, right? I'm short and I'm expecting like $70,134. Where from there, I'm looking for a long trade. Whether I take a long trade or not, I'm not sure yet. I'll have to see what the reaction is like there. But I would be looking for a long trade down there. So just because I've shorted, it doesn't mean I'm bearish, right? I'm just looking for a nice scalp short down to the range low, which of course this is not really a scalp short anymore. I did expect this trade to play out a little bit quicker. So even if we do come down to range low, I still will say, right, okay, I expected this to happen a little bit quicker. It didn't. But okay, that's fine. It's turned more into like a day trade, intraday trade. And from there we can look for a possible long trade, right? That's kind of what I'm waiting for, really. And I still think that's a probability. I still think that's a valid move down here, right? I still think we could do that, because if we take a look at the order flow, right? Let's just refresh it and zoom out. So if we take a look at the order flow here, we can see that we are still seeing absorption occurring. Okay, we still have absorption occurring, right? We have price forming lower highs, right? So this is classed as like bearish, okay, because we're forming lower highs. Then we take a look at the CVD, okay, and we can see that's obviously making higher highs here, right? So we know that there is more aggressive longing happening here than there was back here, okay? And yeah, this is what we class as a textbook bearish divergence, right? And not only that, okay, not only that, but we're also forming that bearish divergence coming into this GP786 here. Of course, we have now rejected from it, right? So this has given us some, nice opportunity, or would have given us some nice. I didn't take them because I'm already in a short, but this would have given us some nice opportunities to load up on a short trade, right? And as you can see, prices pulled back from there. Okay, so for me, I still think that range low is a possibility where from there, we could look for a long trade, and I could look to take that up to range high and possibly even all-time high as well. So that's kind of what my plan is, really. So just because I'm short, it doesn't mean I'm bearish again, right? It doesn't mean I'm bearish. It just means that I'm looking for I'm looking to take advantage of this move towards the downside to like 70,134, where from there, I could load up on a long trade and look for range high, simple range trading, exactly like last week, okay, when we just had that amazing range that was just so nice and so easy to trade. That's just what I'm looking for here, right? I'm just looking for that, and if we get that, I'm just gonna trade that. I'm just gonna trade the range, right, until it breaks, exactly like I did last week. Now, of course, I was looking at this weekly VWAP back here. So I was looking at the weekly VWAP and I was thinking, okay, this is coming in really nice confluence with the range low. So if we do get a nice drop here, okay, we can use this as confluence. Now we are a little bit away from it. Okay, we are a little bit away from it, but we could see, right, this roll over a little bit, tape over, as price is pulling back into it. Okay, and then of course, we could be looking for that to that as confluence as well for the long trade. Okay, it's always good to look for confluence. So if there is confluence there, that is great, and it gives me more confidence to enter into the trade if we do have, like I said, that confluence. Okay, so yeah, for me right now, there are no new positions to be in. Okay, it's literally just remaining patient and waiting for my levels. Okay, my levels towards the downside, of course, is 70,134, which is range low, where I look for that long trade. If I don't get the long trade, then I can ride the short lower. Okay, I could ride the short to this VWAP that we have down here, which is the anchored VWAP from 72,000. And of course, if you are a regular watcher of this channel, you will know that this has been an amazing level for us. Okay, this anchored VWAP from 72,000. It's been respected so well, and we've used it so many times to enter into so many trades. Okay, and it's just been really, really nice to use this. Anchored VWAP from 72,000. And I do think, right, if we do pull back to it, we could see a long trade off of it. Okay. Of course, I will be looking for the confluence. But I do think, right? I do think if price is going to pull into it and we have confluence, I do think it is a valid long trade from that VWAP still. Okay, because we have respected it so well previously, right? We can zoom out and we can see how well respected it has been. Yes, we have the slight deviations from it. Okay, we do have the slight deviations of it, but what do we call those? Okay, we call them the failed auctions, right? And we've traded them, and they have been really, really profitable. Okay, breaking above it, support, support, big move up. Okay, even on this deviation here, we broke above, pullback, support with a bounce, and then we got acceptance below it, and then saw the move down. Right, we shorted this here, really nice short trade there. So yeah, this has just been an amazing anchored VWAP, and I would still be happy to look for trades at this VWAP here if we do see a pullback to it. Of course, I would have to look for confluence, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at there. Now, for the bigger levels, right? Let's get rid of those and those. Let's get rid of these for now, okay? And let's go on to, let's say, the 8 hour, okay? So looking at the 8 hour here, okay, I want to bring up the naked point of controls as well. And then let's bring up this here. What's this one? Okay, we can get rid of that. So looking at this 8 hour here, right? I just don't see, of course, right, let's get rid of the naked point of controls for a second, right? This is just very clearly a range, okay? This is very clearly a range here. And, we've made some amazing trades from this, okay? Just some absolutely amazing trades. So I had the short from all-time high. I had the long from here. I had the short from here. I had the long from here. I had the long from here. And I believe there was a short from here as well. Okay, so these are the trades that I've taken within this range, okay, within this, really nice structure that price has been forming. The most recent trade that I took off this 8 hour chart was the failed auction from range low, okay, which as you can see has been a really, really profitable trade. I have fully closed that trade now, just because I was getting a little bit wary that we were forming bearish market structure. But yeah, this has been an amazing long trade, but we're still not we've still not left this range, right? We're still trading within this range. This has still been a respected range. Okay. I know that this happened all the way back on the 2nd of May. So it was a long time ago, when we entered into this long trade here. And there just were no trades to be had on this 8 hour, which is why recently I have been a little bit more zoomed in. And yeah, I have been looking at the lower time frames. Okay. That's what I have been doing. But you can see here, we are getting ever so close to that range high, which is the all-time high as well. And that's where we have confluence with a naked point of control at $73,500 approximately, $73,475. So for me up there, that's a really nice high probability short trade I see. Okay, of course we have to get the setup right. We have to see the bearish confluence. We have to see the bearish reaction. We have to see the bearish confirmation for me to enter into that short trade. But if I see all of that, then I would be happy to enter into a short trade up there. Okay, I would be happy to enter into a short trade up there because I've traded this. This has just been amazing price action to trade, right? Really nice price action to trade, right? When we entered into these trades, and all of these trades, of course, were given on the Discord, right? All of these trades were given on the Discord. If you want access to this, first link in the description, it will take you over to this page here where you can gain access to the Discord. But yeah, this has just been an amazing range to trade. So I'm going to continue to trade this, even though the last trade was on the 2nd of May, right? We're coming into the important levels now. Okay. Now we do have an important level at $72,000. Okay. That I could be looking to short there. I understand that I could be looking to short that. I could also be looking to short $72,874. Okay. I understand that that's also a possible short trade from up there. My most preferred short trade, would be from the all-time high. But I understand, right? And this is something that one of the viewers said yesterday, right? Martin, I remember him saying that, we could actually, because everyone's anticipating all-time high, everybody's waiting for all-time high, we could actually front run it. Okay. And that's exactly what happened all the way back when I shorted up here, right? That's exactly what happened up here. So what we saw, okay, is as price was breaking out of this, right, we had 89 million, right, 89 million new long trades coming in. That is an absurd amount of long trades, okay? 89 million people here were expecting all-time high. Okay, they were expecting all-time high. So we had 89 million new long trades coming in. However, right, we formed a swing failure pattern of this high. Price started to pull back. And what happened to those 89 million short trades that opened up here? Well, those 89 million short trades that opened up here had to cover their shorts, meaning that they had to sell back into the market, right? They had to sell into the market, which of course added fuel to the fire, pushing that price much, much lower. So as you can see here, 89 million long trades got completely wiped out. Okay, completely wiped out. So, if I was to see something like that, right, that we saw here at $72,000 or $72,874, then I would have to understand, right? And I wouldn't have to, but I would just understand, right, that we've done this previously, right, where we front run all time high. We've had an absurd amount of long trades open up, which are underwater. And if price continues to move lower, then we're most likely going to, well, they're going to have to cover their long trade. Sorry, they're going to have to cover their longs, meaning that they have to sell into the market. Okay, so if like what happened here, 89 million new long trades opened, okay, and then those 89 million long trades had to cover, meaning they have to sell back into the market, then we can expect a huge pullback like we saw here. Okay, we can expect a huge pullback. So I understand that coming into this level here, right? I understand, and I will show you those 89 million long trades that we had back there as well. But I understand coming into all-time high. Of course, that's my most preferred short trade because there's more confluence there, right? We have a high, we have all-time high, and it's range high, we have all-time high, and we have a naked point of control at the all-time high. Okay, so I understand that's the highest probability short trade. But back here, I could have been saying the same thing, right? I could have been saying the same thing because we pull up the naked point of controls again, right? We had a naked point of control up there, right? And what did we do? We front run that naked point of control, okay? And then if we take a look at the order flow, let's just go on the 8 hour. Let it load, give it some time. Right, up here, was it here? Oh, sorry, it was, 85, so not 89 million. Right, I'm actually going to screenshot this because we are 2 8-hour candles away from not being able to see this. So, I would actually just like to save this, to be honest with you. Just so I can use it as a reference in the future. It'd be nice to save that. Okay, cool. So, 85, right? It was 85 million new long trades opened up in this candle alone. Okay, so 85 million people were anticipating all-time high. Okay, again, back here, 85 million were anticipating all-time high. And even for myself, right, I was thinking, okay, the highest probability short trade is from all-time high. But then I understood, okay, as 85 million new long trades open up here, okay, and then price starts to pull back, then I know, right, this is actually quite bearish because we have 85 million new long trades open up. A lot of them are underwater already, okay, a lot of them are already underwater. If price continues to pull back a little bit more, like I've been saying, right, they're going to have to cover their shorts. They're going to have to sell their longs, sorry. They're going to have to cover their longs. They're going to have to sell back into the market, okay, which is, of course, is going to be very bearish, right? So I understand that, yes, the highest probability short trade that I see, and if we see it, okay, is from all-time high. But then I understand that we could actually get a short trade earlier if we see something like back here, when we have an absurd amount of long trades coming in, an absurd amount of people expecting all-time high, and then we just see those long trades just get completely wiped out, and we just see a huge move back down. Okay, so I am aware of that, and I am factoring that in as well, and just keeping it in the back of my mind that if I see that, right, if I see that, then I am going to take the short, okay? Because I know what happened last time. I know what happens the majority of the time when we see a huge amount of long trades come into the market. They start to go underwater, okay? Then we see them become very emotional, okay? Get very emotional, and the majority of the time, right, what they do, and this is, retail traders, right? What they do, and I understand this. I say this a lot. I understand this because I was in that position once where I would long a breakout, okay? But what happens is you get very emotional, and you exit your position, okay? When you're underwater, okay? Or you get liquidated, right? So I understand that retail traders back then, when we had 85 million new long trades coming in, okay, and we formed that swing failure pattern, I understood that all of these retail traders are going to be very, very emotional. And it proved to be right. Okay, it proved to be right, and it proves to be right so many times. Okay, so many times when we see, right, we can see an example from last week, right? The short trade that we took from last week. This short trade from last week here, I believe it was. Yeah, so this short trade from last week, what was it? Was it I forgot how many. Yeah, 21 million new long trades came in. Okay, those 21 million long trades got completely wiped out there. Right, we see it so many times. Okay, we see it so many times that when we get an absurd amount of long trades coming in, price starts to pull back. We see a big pullback. Okay, because those long trades have to cover, and it's vice versa as well. When we see an absurd amount of short trades opening up, especially when price seems to be breaking out or breaking down, sorry, of a level, then the majority of the time when we see price actually start to rise, those short trades have to cover, meaning they have to buy back into the market, pushing the price higher. We see it so many times, and I trade it so many times, and it's just such a profitable way to be trading, because you're going off of market emotions, okay, trader emotions, right? And right, we understand that the majority of retail traders, like 95% of retail traders consistently lose money within the markets. Okay, so if you can be doing the opposite of what those people are doing, if you think about it, right, if you're doing the opposite of what they are doing, okay, so every trade that they're entering into and you're doing the opposite, you're going to make money. Okay, because 95% of the time, retail traders, or sorry, 95% of retail traders are just consistently losing money. Okay, so if you're doing the opposite to them, I know it sounds simple, right? It's not simple, okay? Because you have to understand, of course, there's not a chat out there with every single, or a poll with every single retail trader telling, putting in the poll what they're doing, okay? Of course, there's nothing like that. So you have to use something like order flow to understand that, right, and understand where the majority of retail are longing, or the majority of retail are shorting. Okay, and like last week, I understood. Okay, here that I understood here that the majority of retail traders are longing. Okay, they are going long, and this is on a breakout as well, right? This is on a breakout, so I know that the majority of retail traders are longing a breakout, right? We then form a failed auction, a fake out. Okay, so I don't know why I'm saying doing a failed auction or a fake out, because I liked, yeah, I call like fake outs more failed auctions, right? That's how I terminize it. Okay, but yeah, we formed the failed auction. Okay, and then bang, retail traders get these, what is it, 21 million retail traders get completely wiped out. Okay, so that's how you have to think about it. I've just seen. Let me just pull up the chat quick. Just seeing some comments. Island time. Good to see you back, my friend. Good to see you back here. Ready. Good to see you back as well. Do we have to expect similar buying around 80 to 100 million longs around all-time high? Like, if you want to see a break, like a strong breakout of the level, and like confirmation that we are breaking above the level, right? If we want to see that, or if that's what we're expecting to see, then yeah, we want to see lots of longs coming into the market, right? That's what we want to see initially for a good breakout. But we have to also remember that that good breakout may look good, but it can very quickly, by the click of your fingers, it can very, very quickly turn into a bad breakout, okay, and a failed auction, right? That's kind of what we're, betting on, or not betting on, like predicting on, right? When we are trading these failed auctions, right? we see, okay, that yes, this is a good breakout. We see we have a considerable amount of longs coming in. But then as price pulls back, right, because we're not seeing, right, it tends to happen in the next candle when it's a failed auction, right? When price starts to pull back, okay, because new longs aren't coming in, then what we're actually seeing is that those, I've been saying, a lot already on this live stream, those long trades, right, that have longs, for an example, that previous short trade that I took when we front run the all-time high, right, we had 85 million long trades coming in, but the next candle after that, there was nothing, absolutely nothing. Price is pulling back, okay, and then those long trades have to cover by selling into the market. So yeah, if we want to um, do, 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 yeah, so, we want to see something absurd, and to be honest, like, we probably will see something absurd like that. Okay, 80 to 100 million long trades, like we probably will see that at all-time high. That's kind of what tends to happen because once prices are all-time high, everybody is talking about it. Okay, and then that's when all the retail traders, and not even retail traders, people that just have never like traded before, that's when they think, oh, let's just buy or long. Okay, so yeah, we don't really have to expect it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did see 80 to 100 million longs coming in at the all-time high. And I mean, like, if we get 80 million, say we get 80 million longs coming in as we're breaking all-time high, and those longs continue, right? So say we continue to get those longs coming in, right? That is a good break. We continue to see that open interest increase. We can continue to see the bullish volume. We continue to see the positive delta. And that is that's what we class as a good breakout, okay, of the level. And then there, we're thinking to ourselves, right, okay, we're probably not going to see a failed auction here. This break is looking really, really good. But who knows how many long trades are going to come in at the high. But we can kind of expect something like 80 million long trades, right? We can kind of expect that. But yeah, who really knows? I don't know. But yeah, all-time high. We just kind of expect those. Let's just have a look at the. Yeah, again, I can't go any further back, can I? No. I won't pull up the desktop one just in case it messes it up. But yeah, we don't like have to expect 80 to 100 million long trades at the high. Like, we don't have to expect it. But it's more probable than not that we will get an absurd amount of long trades coming in at the high. Okay, it's more probable than not. That's just I'll just leave it there. That's how I see it. Right. Maybe it'll be like 60 million. Maybe it'll be 40 million. Okay, but that's still a pretty absurd amount of long trades. And that can, if that turns bearish, right? If we see the failed auction form, that's still 40 million long trades that are most likely going to have to cover or will get liquidated. Okay, so that's still going to move the market, right? 40 million long trades having to cover, that's really going to move the market. Okay, that really is going to move the market. So and we see it, right? We saw it last week. Okay, it wasn't the biggest move, okay, but it was a very, very profitable move, right? We saw this here, okay. 21 million long trades here moved the market from like $69,400 all the way down to $66,600, okay. So even 21 million, that's a lot of longs, and it can move the market, right? It can move the market a bit, and you can see what happened back here, right? We had 85 million long trades coming in here. Look how much that moved the market, right? Look how much that moved the market. So for me, it's like I'm not really too interested in how many. Of course, I understand that I would like to see quite a lot of longs coming in if I am going to look for a short up here. Okay, I want to see quite a lot of longs, but I'm not really. I just understand that, right? Okay, if we see, 20 million new long trades, okay, then this is going to be a smaller trade. If we see 40 million, it's going to be a bit of a bigger trade. If we see 60 million, it's going to be a bit of a bigger trade, right? We can expect a little bit lower, and then if it gets to like 80 to 100 million, long trades coming in up here, and then all of those long trades have to cover, then that's when you're expecting that big move down like we saw here. Okay, that big move which went from like 72,000 all the way down to 56,600. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't really matter about how many longs are coming in. Okay, as long as we're seeing like a good amount, the more longs we see coming in, and then we form the failed auction, right? Then the bigger the move is probably going to be. That's how we can look at it, right? So yeah, let's just zoom in and have a look at what's going on right now. So I'll bring up the trade as well. So yeah, like I said, right, we still have the absorption coming in. Okay, we still have the long absorption that was coming in here. Right, this is of course now pushing the price down. Right, like we had long absorption up here, pushed the price down, took us down to the mid range for that TP1. Right, we've come back up here. We've still got absorption, and this is kind of why I haven't moved the stop loss to entry, because I've been looking at this and I've been thinking, right, absorption is possible here. You can kind of judge whether you're going to get absorption or not. And as price was rising here, like I could have moved stop loss to entry, just making it a risk-free trade, right? $266 in a profit, easy, free trade, right? But I understand, okay, that absorption was probable here. There was a possibility we could get absorption. That's exactly what we got. Okay, it was coming into the GP786 as well. So in itself, this is kind of like a new another short trade. This is another short trade in itself, right? And then for even more confluence, right? We've just formed a three drives pattern up there. Right, yeah, you've got a three drives pattern there, and that's just pushed that price lower. So if you're taking a short from up here, again, we're looking at mid range for that kind of like TP1, and maybe even these lows. So maybe you could already have taken some profit there. But yeah, again, I didn't trade this. Okay, I traded this up here. I shorted this up here. And yeah, I've already taken a TP1. The next TP I'm looking for is, of course, that range low. So I'm just remaining patient for that. And from there, I can look for a new long trade possibly. Okay, that's kind of what I'm banking on, right? But yeah, the short trade has been open for longer than I thought. To be honest, I thought that we would get a quicker move down here. We didn't. Okay, we've just been consolidating up here. So yeah, not too fast. I will just remain patient, right? Because there are no new trades here to be had. Other than there was a short trade from there. There was short trade from here. But yeah, it's kind of just the same trade, right? So yeah, for me, there are no new trades to be had right now. This was that last trade to be had, or any one of these from up here. Okay, was the short trade to be had. So I'm kind of just sitting on that and just remaining patient and waiting for that TP2. If I get stopped out, like I said at the start, the risk to reward is just a little bit over a 1-to-1. Okay, so it's a 1 to 1.18. So yeah, if I do get stopped out, we do hit the stop loss up here. It will still be it will just be a very slightly profitable trade. Okay, because like I said, the risk to reward is just a little bit over that 1 to 1. Yeah, it's a 1 to 1.18 roughly. Okay, so yeah, it will just be a very slight profitable trade. So again, I'm not worried about it, right? I'm not worried about it. It's a free trade, right? I've taken a TP1. There's no way that I can lose any money on this trade. If I get stopped out, it's like just a very slight profit. Okay, so I'm not too interested I'm not too worried. Sorry if I get stopped out of this trade, but I do understand that the highest probability move is actually down to range low, where from there the highest probability move is kind of a move back up to range high for the long trade, right? So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Of course, if you have any more questions, put them in the chat. Don't be afraid to ask. I will be more than happy to answer any questions. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that thumbs up button on the stream. I would really appreciate it. It helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content because I know that you enjoy it. Ready. Where can we look for longs now? So yeah, the longs that I'm looking for, right, are literally from range low. Um, that's the only long that I'm kind of interested in at this moment in time. Of course, we have remember the anchored VWAP from $72,000. That's been amazing. So if we do lose this, yeah, this is that next possible long trade. If we do lose this, okay, that's the next possible long trade. Of course, I want to see confluence into that level, but yeah, the only long trade that I see as of now is range low, really. That's kind of the only long trade that I see. So if we see price pull back, we form failed auction of it, we swing failure pattern it, okay, and I like what we see. Maybe we see a lot of shorts coming in here, okay. That's what I kind of want to see. Then yeah, I'll be happy to take a long trade and look for range high, okay. Look for price to come all the way back up to, maybe $71,700. Of course, I'll be taking a TP1 here, looking for a TP2 there. So yeah, that's the only long trade that I see at this moment in time. Other than that, it's just a little bit boring, right? Someone did mention they wanted me to look at gold actually yesterday as well. So I did have a little look at gold. So I zoomed out on it and yeah, so we can just see it's in range bound price action up here. We formed a failed auction up here. That could have offered a really nice short trade, right? Of course, I actually haven't looked at the order flow of it, but yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of buying up here on gold. Of course, TP1 here, then you're expecting like a TP2 down here. So that was the 8 hour. I then zoomed in to have a look at, was it the 1 hour, 2 hour? Yeah, 2 hour. And again, you're just ranging here. You're just in some range bound price action. So there was a nice long trade from the range low here. Yeah, there was a nice long trade there. TP1, you've pulled back, retested the range low as support, and yeah, bounced off of that, come up to range high. So now, of course, you're going to be looking for the short trade. There was a short trade here. Okay, that would have been stopped out. If I, personally, if I took this trade on gold, I would have got stopped out here. Okay, so I would have taken the long from here, TP1, TP2, entered into a short here. Okay, that would have, pulled back slightly, got stopped out, and then I'll be thinking here, right, okay, if we form a failed auction here, right, this is a second entry, so I could re-enter into that short trade looking and look for mid-range, and then of course range low as well. So that's kind of how I would view looking at gold. We can take a look at Ethereum as well. Ethereum's just very boring up here. Like Bitcoin, but it's just very, very boring, to be honest with you. Personally, I don't like trading Ethereum on the lower time frames. I prefer trading Ethereum on kind of higher time frames, such as like 4 hour and 8 hour. Of course, you can trade it on the lower time frames. I just prefer it a little bit more on the on the higher time frames. Could have been a nice short trade up here from Ethereum. I'll have to have a look at the order flow on it. I mean, not a crazy amount of long trades coming in at the high. We had 2.9 million. It was here when we had 7.9 million. So yeah, in my eyes, it's not the greatest short trade, but it's still a valid one, right? Mate, I probably would have entered into a trade like this, and I'd enter into a trade like this on a little bit lower capital, just because I'm not really happy with the amount of longs that are coming in at the high. I'd rather see more longs coming in, so that more longs can get wrecked on the failed auction. So yeah, that's Other than that, we mid range here. This is just more proof, why you should always be looking at mid range as a TP1, right? I always, always, always take a mid range, take a TP1 at mid range. I never used to, and a lot of the time I did get completely destroyed, right? Because we'd come down to mid range. You can take a TP1, and if you're happy with that, and you if you're happy with that, you can move your stop loss to entry, right? And I do that a lot of the time where I'll take a TP1 at mid range and then move the stop loss to entry. Sometimes I will let it ride, okay? Like now, because I'm trading with lower capital than I usually do, just because the price action isn't great, then I will do this where I will let the trade ride, okay? See if I can squeeze some more profits out of the trade. Um, but yeah, also I understand like price action again. It's just not great. So it's not, we're not forming these really nice moves. Okay, and that's again why I previously and I still am focusing on this, right? Where I've zoomed out on the bigger time frame and I'm looking at the 8 hour because it's just really nice price action to trade, right? Really simple, nice price action to be trading. Yeah, I guess patience again, right? I'm just waiting, just remaining patient, waiting for it. Anyway, yeah, if you've got any more questions, put them in the chat. I will give it, yeah, a couple minutes, and then I'll probably end the live stream. Yeah, it is dinner time for me, so I'm gonna go and get myself some dinner. Again, I just want to, highlight it, right. Recently, the market conditions have just been horrible for trading. I acknowledge that myself as well. Of course, I can never use, I would never use this as an excuse not to, um, have profitable trades, right? I understand it's never an excuse, but I understand that this is difficult price action to trade, even for myself, right? I do find it very difficult price action to trade. And in the current market conditions, if you are a beginner trader and you are, trying to become a profitable trader, I do understand that these are the worst, like the kind of worst conditions to be learning in. And that's why, it's always good to go back and, just back test from when conditions were good. Okay, from when conditions were good. Even just coming to like the 8 hour here. This was nice price action here. It's just recently here. It's just like it doesn't even look that bad, but it has just been really. It's just been rubbish price action. But even here, I was saying it back here as well. It wasn't great price action back here because we were front running levels. But then, yeah, this is when you need to um, have that experience, right? And that's exactly what I've gained from the markets. I've gained that experience, and I understand, right? Okay, we've got these 85 million longs coming in here. I'd rather see a short trade, and I'd rather look for a short trade from all time high. But okay, let me just take the short from here, okay? Because we're actually looking very bearish now, right? We're actually looking very bearish up here as we're seeing all of these new longs coming in. Um, back back here. This was pretty horrible price action here as well. Um, I remember, but I was looking at this. I could scroll back on the Discord, but it'd probably take me too long. I was trading some of these because I was looking at this as a parallel channel, an upward sloping parallel channel. That was a little bit difficult to trade. But yeah, I do really like this 8 hour chart at the moment. I do really like this. So yeah, I'm gonna look for those short trades up here. Of course, those are my plans, right? I'm gonna look for the short trades. Of course, I will never ever long. I will never ever long coming into all time high ever. Because the majority of the time, well, first of all, it's just not a part of my strategy. It's not how I do things. And second of all, I'm probably most likely going to be in a long trade um, before we hit all time high, right? Well, I actually am already in a long trade. I am already in a long trade from from here. I think it was like 67,200 dollars ish. Anyway, I will leave it there. I will leave it there. I'm going to go get myself some dinner. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this stream. Of course, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Again, I'm just going to remain patient, sit on this long trade, on this short trade, right? Looking for $70,130, where from there I can possibly look for a long trade to take that up to range high. So yeah, it's just about patience, right? Just about patience. If we tap it, I get the long trade. I will take it. If I don't, then I will continue to ride that short lower. because we're most likely going to see lower prices, right? So, yeah, thank you very much for watching, everybody. And I will, of course, see any visionary members in the Discord and in the daily market update tomorrow morning. If not, I will see anybody else in the live stream for tomorrow. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Looking forward to seeing you again